Hello and welcome to 4000 and Counting, brought to you by Hurricane E-Bikes. I am Watty, and today I am joined by Dundee Comets Sean Beatie. Sean, thanks for joining 4000 and Counting, mate.
Yeah, no, it's a pleasure.
Right, so obviously the reason I'm getting you guys on and the boys from the Lynx, I'm coming up to the SNL game this weekend. Between yourselves and the Lynx, you boys managed to get the two cups over them last year. They pick up the league. Nice little healthy rivalry going between the clubs.
Yeah, I think there's always been. I think SNL as a total there's always been a rivalry with every team because like it's not like class as a professional league, so guys are always going that a little bit harder. They've got something to prove, so I think every game's just as exciting. But I think when we play Lynx, because we've always had not a beef, but like it's always been good games. I think it's expected. It's almost like it's expected of you when you play. So yeah, we've always had a wee bit of fight in the games.
Bit of niggle.
Bit of niggle.
So this week, obviously, I'm Comets later on in the week than I have been. The Lynx boys already been on. One of those boys being on Jack Flynn. I hear you and young Jack, old acquaintances.
Old acquaintances or Jack. Yeah.
So
Um,
what
never
what
spoke
what's
to the
the
guy off the ice.
what's the
Never spoke to him
backstory?
off the ice. Never spoke to him off the ice ever. But just generally just dislike the guy.
Any
Just
particular reason?
yeah, he jumped me 2 years ago,
I'll do
and
it.
he'll remember, and he always will remember.
Oh, really? So
Yeah.
did you boys not maybe like try and square up later on in the game or like in games since that?
No, well, last year I asked him a few times, screamed in his face once. I remember that.
Screamed at him.
Yeah, um, just typical. I mean, is what it is at the end of the day.
Hey, no friends on the ice, and
No,
even if you spoke to them off the ice, I'm sure it doesn't matter when someone jumps you. That's the sort of thing that I mean, I played the game long enough. I only really got jumped maybe twice. Um, the first guy got his head cross checked into the ice.
yeah,
Uh,
that's fair.
that's fair. And the second guy was Sean Wallace, and he was a lot bigger and tougher than me. So we
Yeah,
fought, and I just was happy to live.
yeah,
I was
and
just like, okay.
and
Well, and the other thing was, mate, he's a fucking plug. Why was I gonna? I'm playing first line centre. You're playing third slash fourth line. You played 4 minutes. I played 27 every PP and everything. And
yeah,
it's a real bad fucking trade. Not only that, the guy had hands like, remember when he jumped me? And I was like, it was in Romford. We were like 5 minutes to go. We were fucking 4-3 up, 5-3 up, whatever it was. He comes out, takes the draw. The guy's never taken a fucking face off in his life. So I was like, here we go, take the draw. He's like, what are we going? I was like, absolutely no, we're not. And puck drops. I just instantly cover up. I knew it. Gloves are off. Blah, 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 blah. 5+ game for fight, and I got what the fuck?
excellent.
I was like, if you'd have just like been like, you're getting tossed anyway. I was like, well, fuck it. I'll start throwing some back and hope
Just
for the
hold on for
best.
the ride.
Is the SNL not notoriously a tough league because I'm getting your teammate on just after we wrap up here, Mr. Hogg, and Cam McGiffin said to me when I got him on, he is the toughest guy in the SNL. I love it.
I would
Talk to
say is personally, I would say is put it this
Oh,
way:
so Cam wasn't blowing smoke up my ass. No, he's legit.
no, if I had a pissed off Billy Hogg skate up to my bench and offered to fight anyone on the bench, I personally would get back in the fucking ice.
He'll be
That's
like,
just
"You're
me.
up,
Yeah.
you're up,
No,
then.
no.
On you
My
go."
hamstring again, what I've never had before.
Yeah,
But
oh,
no.
get that fucking deep freeze out quick.
Oh no, Hoggy's a great guy. Like he'll do
Guys,
anything for
getting the
anybody.
hoggy flu or what?
Yeah, guy there all the time, all the time.
Oh, I love it. We've been Instagram pals for a long time,
Yeah,
but it's nice because I'm gonna get to meet a lot of you boys. I haven't met. I'm gonna get to see some of the hockey. The fans seem to think, going by the earlier videos of the week, a couple of the comments were like, I think people maybe sleep on the SNL a little bit, and there's many fans that think you boys would compete quite well with the teams and say the NIHL North, for example, and there isn't too much difference in between the quality of the teams and the level of the game.
yeah. Well, I think it was 2 years ago. The Comets we played in the NIHL Cup. I don't
Yeah,
know if it was 2 or 1. I can't remember. I
let's
just
have a look.
turn up and play. But
Man after my own heart.
we played in that. It was against Billingham and um, Widnes. Can't remember the other team down south. horrible rink. You'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Whitley Bay.
Whitley.
Fucking sandpaper ice. That's what that is. Terrible. We played them and we got through to the final. So like, I don't see there being a massive difference.
Right, let's have a look. So that was in 1920. You played 7 games in the EIHL, 1 North Cup. Okay, yeah. So for the Murrayfield Racers, you played the North Cup for 1 game the year before, and then for the Comets, 2 seasons, both in the EIHL, 1 North Cup. Let's have a look at the teams that were in that just now. So, fucking hell, I clicked the wrong button. Sorry, guys, this isn't my forte.
Big fingers.
Do you know what I'm saying? Do you know what I'm saying? They're good for other stuff, not so much for the phone. But just looking at like Peter Gapper, so Solway would have been in the competition. Callum Boyd, I think, was Boydie at Edinburgh then, maybe.
I don't know if Boydie was Edinburgh or Solway. I think it was Edinburgh actually. Yeah, Racers.
But I mean, I'm looking at it. Yeah, Whitley Bay, because Ben Campbell's there, Ian Bowie's in the league, Harry Harley. I'm looking at like Richard Gregor. So there's some great players. Stuart Toner, obviously, he's now captain in the National League. So that North one there were some good players in it, and you boys, you felt like you get as far as you did, but did you feel like you competed every time you played in it?
I think every time we turned up to play, like I think everyone played better. It sounds really stupid, but I think everyone in the team played better at the higher level. It's like they had something to prove.
Yeah,
like, we're here. We've made it this far. Like, and then when you come back and play an SNL game, you kind of get like stuck in the mud.
Bit of hangover.
Well, probably, yeah.
Metaphorically and probably literally.
Yeah. Beer league, glorified beer league.
But the thing is, though, right? Whilst it is still amateur, and you boys do want to win, if a lad's been working fucking 60 hours and he wants to go to the pub on a Friday, suck it up. Like, don't get me wrong, you don't want to go in, everyone turns up the next day, everyone's roasting and you get absolutely smoked. No one wants that.
No.
But equally, there's got to be that fine balance, because obviously we'll get into your elite league stuff in a bit, but it's not the fucking elite league. So you can't be... I was speaking to the Aberdeen boys, like a lot of them will be offshore. So like this weekend, they might have a completely different roster to what they have in 2 weeks or in a month. Guys have to be allowed to, like yourself. Well, you can tell the people on air. Give your business a wee plug while we're at it. But what is it you do?
Yeah, self-employed plumbing and heating engineer.
There you go, folks. Get at Mr. Beatie if you need your heating or your plumbing. But we all have other jobs, other careers.
Yeah,
the hockey's got to be fun.
You've got to have the fine line. You want to be competitive, but at the same time, like, guys are doing it because they want to do it. They're not doing it because they have to do it. And I think that's what a lot of the stigma is about the SNL, is that people think it's just a bit of banter for the guys, but it's not. Like, everyone that still plays in SNL still got the fire in their belly to win. So I don't think anyone should sleep on the SNL at all, to be honest with you.
The minute that stops, mate, is the minute you chuck your kit in the river and fucking call it a day.
Yeah.
Because when it's not fun turning up to the rink,
yeah.
Then what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? Especially you got to get on a bus. Nothing worse. You're hating hockey. You're fucking in a depression. You're miserable. You go, 5-hour bus journey today. Great. And it'd be worse for you. You've done the elite league thing, coming from up the road down here and that. On those days where you feel shite and you probably know you're not even going to get on. And it's like, yeah, great. We've got Basingstoke and fucking Guildford away.
Yeah, Saturday and Sunday, and you're working on Monday.
Yeah, so you're away from the hometown for about 36 hours. You'll play warm up, get nice and sweaty, sit on the bench, freeze your ass off. You might start getting pumped 5-0. It's like, you're up. Like, okay, this is fun. Let's rip a hamstring. Let's rip a hamstring off 20 minutes in before. But it's, I don't know. Let's get into the elite league stuff then, because you've played a shit ton of games, my man.
Yeah, not a lot of minutes, but a shitload of games. If that was school, my attendance was shit hot. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, A for attendance, and then for chipping in. But that's no fault of your own when you're coming through. Right, so you're a Kirkcaldy boy, right?
I wouldn't actually stay in Kirkcaldy.
No. What I mean is, like, you were born in Kirkcaldy, right?
Born in Kirkcaldy, yeah.
Aye. So, did you ever play for Fife, or
No.
was you always through in with like Edinburgh?
Well, I never started playing ice hockey till I was 16 years old.
What?
Is when I first played ice hockey. 16 years old.
What? And 2 years later, you were on the bench for the fucking elite league team.
Yeah, they were struggling. Yeah.
Right. Okay. We're going to talk about this, and then we'll go on to the rest of the elite league. Right. First of all, how did you come to the game of ice hockey at 16?
So when I was younger, we used to play. I used to stay like near St Andrews, a small fishing village called Crail. So
you better golf then, my boy.
No, I'm terrible.
Fucking really?
Terrible. Oh, shite. Not terrible. So we used to play roller hockey for a team in St Andrews. That's how I first started. I was only 8 when I started roller skating. And then progressively through roller hockey, played for Scotland, then went away for GB. So I used to play down in Bisley and Rotherham.
So Bisley's literally half an hour from me.
Yeah, so I used to play down there. I remember it used to be an old army regiment or
still a firing range, yeah.
Yeah. So
I don't know what that was. Don't test my gun signs. Don't test my gang signs out. But yeah, it's still a shooting range. I can't believe I just fucking did that on YouTube.
Sorry, you can edit that bit.
I'm not even gonna bother. So you can edit it and fucking sue me on Twitter or whatever later. Fill your boots. That one's on me.
So, actually, funny story about when we were in Bisley. I think I was under 14s, and we had a final coming up. And our parents were saying that we can go and get something to eat, go and chill out outside. So me and my mate at the time, who's actually my business partner now, we were fucking about running around on these hills that we thought were great, like fantastic. It was the mounds at the back of the firing range.
Just stop the bullets.
Like to stop if anyone missed the target, and we had people shouting at us, and when they were shouting, like we thought they were being assholes, so we were standing at the top of the range, like giving them the finger.
Get it right round you.
And then the police turned up, and then my mom and dad, they came down, and we were like, "Oh, fuck, I'm really sorry, like didn't mean to do anything."
And the thing is, it's a live range, right? There ain't no blanks getting fired down at Bisley.
No.
That's just a live firing range. So you get on the wrong side of one of them hills, you're going to be wearing bullets for breakfast.
So yeah,
Could you imagine the story? Under 13 roller hockey team gets smoked by the British Army out the back of Bisley. Oh God! Well, I'm glad you boys didn't get shot because you wouldn't have been here to tell the story.
No. And then after roller hockey, I think it was my last year in roller hockey, playing under 16s. There was Craig Holland played for Edinburgh, and I think he played one season at Flyers. He was a backup goal, and I think he played in Dundee as well. Craig Holland, he was a netminder. His old man, Chris Holland, he asked me to play ice hockey. Then I was like, never even took a thought to it. Fucking hate freezing cold ice rinks. I've been ice skating before. And then,
this is shite.
Yeah, this is shit. And then I turned
up. But though, you must have had like some ice hockey boys coming to join you with the roller. Were they never going, yo, jump through? Because I know like it's busy down here. So my brother plays for a team. Oh, I don't know what the team is, but you look at it, it's like Malik Martelli, Ethan James. It's basically like a EIHL National League All-Star team, but they all just go and play roller.
And France and Spain and all the sunny countries.
By the way, what a gig that is.
Yeah. Where did we get to go? Milton Keynes.
MK.
Edinburgh Ice Rink.
Yeah. That was always the worst one for me as a young kid in the Elite League. Edinburgh away. Yeah. You skate the warm up, and it was fucking cold in the old rink.
It's such a cold rink.
You don't get a sweat on in warm up.
Oh,
because if you're,
I was bench warmer there for 6 years.
Yeah,
I've done that every weekend.
Have you got your own plaque?
Yeah,
just at the end of the bench. Just
at the end of the bench.
Just a wee 2x4. Beatie's ass was here for fucking 6 years.
Still got skid marks.
But obviously, the Elite League thing, to go to that so quickly out of just starting, take it you must have been a pretty talented roller hockey player.
I was all right. I played roller hockey GB, so I've done like a couple of GB things over in Spain and France a couple of times. So I'd done all right in the roller hockey, and then I played a wee bit of seniors as well. But then when I started playing elite, the Elite League took over. So after that, it was pretty much just ice all the time.
So how did you get into the elite league? Obviously, I don't know how accurate elite prospects are. You go in the 11-12 Edinburgh Capitals SNL season. I don't know how long you've been playing at this point. You're still playing for the under 18s, so it can't be much longer than 12,
Yeah,
18 months. You get 11 points in 12 games. You play 6 games in the under 18s. You get 6 points, 3-3. And then that's you. The next year you're in the elite league. Like, how the
yeah.
fuck does that even happen?
No idea. It was just I think at the time, I think Edinburgh as a team were like,
Dumpster fire is the word you're looking for.
yeah, yeah.
I'll say it so you don't have to.
Yeah, so they started doing this thing that was like trying to bring younger ones in through the ranks, but it was it never worked. The only couple of guys that came out of it really were Callum Boyd. He went away and done his thing in Braehead. He played
Yeah.
a couple of years in Braehead, and then he went to Solway. And then you've got like Sapluzi. He went down. He's at the
How old was
Wildcats.
Martin Single then? He must have,
like 70. I don't
he
know.
must have been fucking 45 then.
He was old. He was
Sorry to
I
interrupt.
think he was a
I'm
great
sorry.
guy.
Fucking hell, Richard Hartman as well. Was he player coach then?
Player coach, yeah. He was Hartman was player coach, yeah.
Because he was older as well, wasn't he?
Yeah, to be fair, still to this day, when he kicks his skates on and comes on with the guys at training, he still tears it up, man.
Oh,
It's
really?
like that,
Is
it's that Eastern European way of living. Like, he's as fit as a fiddle. Like,
Oh, I was going to say they're all shredded, mate.
oh, it's fucking wild. And then the
They
Scottish guy
they got
comes
to
on
because
and
they don't
sits
look
on the
that
bench.
hot. They got to have good bodies because all their women are 10s. All their faces are 3s. Their bodies have got to be 8s. Like the lads have got to bring something to the table there. Like I just upset every Euro that I've ever played with.
Yeah, that's it.
I
Fucking
don't.
game over.
I don't care. It's fine. It's fine until I go and I need them to show me around check in February. Be like, hey boys, I called you all ugly fucks on the podcast. You fancy taking me around Prague for a tour?
Where's a good bar?
But they some of the Euro boys have always been my favourite. In fact, I'm just looking. Yeah, Rennie Yarrelin came down to Basingstoke. He played my brother. What a player he is, by the way. Like,
you ever
people
seen that guy
slept
when he
on
takes
him.
his glasses off? He used to
Was he
take
like
his
Clark
glasses off.
Kent?
And, he's like, you couldn't see his eyes were closed, and he just like he would just tape his stick and like miss half his stick because he was that fucking blind.
Get
But
a
then
hat-trick.
as soon as he went on the ice, he knew exactly where the puck was. It was unbelievable.
Mate, he was so good. And in fact, that first year that you played there, you played with another former teammate of mine, Yuri Senko.
Oh yeah, Senko. Yeah, he played. I think he came from Solway as well. Senko, didn't he? Was he not a
Ooh,
Solway boy?
I think you might be right. Yeah.
Did he not
So
play Solway?
that year you played 28 games, but at that point you're still down in the SNL. And I mean, for someone that just started a couple of years ago, 14 games, 24 points, you're chucking some pims into the mix as well, 37 pims. Did you start to feel like more of an ice hockey player then, as opposed to like a fucking roller hockey player playing ice hockey?
Yeah, well, the first 2 years of me playing, the first year I couldn't stop. So you ever seen like the Mighty Ducks when the guy
Was it
can't stop?
Averman?
I used to slide my back skate behind my other skate to come into the bench, and like if I couldn't stop in time, I would just like leap over the bench.
Yeah, coming for a line change.
I'm coming in.
Skates are in the ceiling. Oh, that's so good.
I think it was after about 2 years, I started finding my feet a wee bit more. I started getting a little bit more confidence.
I mean, that's handy.
And then start getting a bit bigger, like going to the gym with the guys at the SNL and then going with the elite league boys to the gym. You start getting a wee bit of mass about you. And now I'm just.
We love Hurricane e-bikes, and so do you. Trustpilot have Hurricane e-bikes at a 4.6 out of 5-star rating. Let me just read some taglines for you. I love this bike. Fantastic business with a fantastic product. Fantastic service all around. What a fantastic company to deal with. Fabulous customer services. Fat bike off-road. Fun just got an upgrade. Very satisfied with my bike. It's the best company to rent an e-bike. All sorts of good feedback. I like the service. It's very satisfying in all forms. It's got any solution for any problem by contacting just by phone. So it seems like the people are happy. Amazing bike. Best product. Karen, she loves it. Been using the electric bike for 6 months. The e-bike is amazing. No maintenance cost, very effective. That is right. No maintenance cost. You can go further, go faster, get fitter. All you got to do is head over, hit subscribe on hurricane.ebikes, select your bike, add your accessories, confirm your details, and it is on its way to you. Now, as always, I like to chuck in my favorites. It's the M250 mountain bike. I like the F200 20-inch fat bike. That's pretty cool. But as you please, there's so many different colors, sizes, shapes, something for everybody. So head over to Hurricane e-bikes, go further, go faster, and get fitter.
Dad bod, plumber.
But I mean, you're not short. What, you 6'1", 6'2"?
6'2".
6'2". So you got that height. And how much did that play a factor in your confidence? Because it's not that you're coming in at 5'7", you've never played before.
Yeah.
All of a sudden you're in there with like blokes that are fucking, you're looking up. Some of these mutants in the elite league that are 6'6", 230.
Yeah.
And you've been up. I was playing in a sports hall, fucking checking guys into a brick wall 4 weeks ago.
Right.
and now I'm here, like lining up against Brad Voff. Like, the fuck just happened there? Like,
a fucking reality check there, isn't it?
You'd be like, okay, probably should pack 2 sets of underwear. We got Cardiff away today. They had some. And when you played in the Elite League, none of this soft as shite, what it is now. It was Mutantville.
Yeah.
It was the jungle.
I think there was about 3 years I played there that we didn't have a fighter. Like, we didn't have an enforcer.
Ow.
It was wild. Like, absolutely wild. But it was just the Eastern European boys. Like, we had a guy called Michael Dobron. This guy was a fucking unit. Like, I mean, a unit. He was massive. And he was terrified of anybody. Like, you could have spent the smallest guy nice out to fight him and he crumbled. Like, it's just they didn't have that style of hockey about them. And then I think it was 2 years after that we signed Riley Emerson.
Oh, hey, he was a tough old boy.
He was the toughest fucker I have ever met in my life. Like, he had this switch, like, as soon as we get on the changing room, like, his mindset changed. Then he starts punching walls, and you're just, like, sitting in the changing room, like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy?
I bet nobody asked him.
No, not a chance. Maybe
no chance.
When he had his kid one, but never.
So my boy Zach Sullivan tells a good story. You might remember it. Remember Jay Rosehill's first or second game? And he got split for about 40 and his fucking face was hanging off. They go in the locker room at the end of the first or the second, whatever it is. And Sonny's like, it's bad, right? It's fucking bad. So everybody's like, nobody's saying a fucking word. Rosie loses it. Fucking pussies and fucking raw, and he's smashing the locker room up. His fucking head's hanging open. Everyone's just like,
fuck that.
And I was like, there's a different level to these big, tough. But by the way, that might make them sound like psychopaths. I'm going to look down the camera as I say this. You ask every fan, you ask every player who the nicest guy in the team is. It's going to be your toughest guy. They are the nicest humans you ever meet. They just happen to be really good at beating the wheels off folk.
Oh, yeah.
What was Riley Emerson like to play with?
Riley Emerson, to play with, he was great. He was a great guy.
Better to have on your team, right? Than play against him.
I still keep in contact with Riley quite a lot. I was a few times. My parents, they still keep in contact with Riley and his wife. When Riley first moved here, his son Liam was just small. So our families used to get together and go out on days in Edinburgh or days in St Andrews. But as a person, could not be a nicer guy. Like, he was always messaging, saying how you're getting on. But as a player, like, if there was one guy I would never want to go against, that would be Riley. The guy who was just fucking all round massive. Like,
was you there when Slads came up?
I think Slads was there the year before I signed. That was the year that Capitals lost like all their players.
So I used to, you're talking about Flinny, like, you boys got the hate, you got the beef. I kind of had that with Slads when he first came in.
Wait, a pick an opponent.
Lucky he didn't murder me. So here's one for you. So Ryan Aldridge is my coach, now Leeds Knights coach. We're in Swindon, and I've been tossed in the first. Was I tossing the first? Might have been sussied. Can't remember. Either way, I wasn't on the ice at the end of the first period break, whether it was a sussy or whatever it was going back. And Slads and Aldi have been going at it. And now I'm in my suit outside the fucking locker room, and me and Slads are like about to square go it. Anyway, doesn't happen. Next game we play, him and Ryan Aldridge having like a fucking sword fight on the ice. It's awesome. It's awesome. Like just some good old boys, yeah. Anyway, used to hate the guy. I then signed for Peterborough. Slads is my teammate. The best fucking guy you would ever imagine, yeah.
Yeah.
But that year he was training for a kickboxing fight. And he's like, any of you boys going to come? The fight's in London. I'm like, I'm in Bainstoke, mate. I'm 45 minutes on the train. I'm fucking coming. So then Seski's like, I'll come. And then like, there's 5 of us, yeah? So we all get like smart cash, you know, a nice sticky dirt, maybe a jacket, pair of jeans and some shoes. We turn up at this fucking hotel, walk in. It's a fucking black tie event. Every single table in the entire place is in black tie. We walk in, and we've been getting after it a little bit in Covent Garden, so we're all a bit like, hey! Go and watch Slads fight. Get back to train on Tuesday. You fucking prick. He's like, what? So you didn't tell him it was this black tie. I got holes in my jeans cut out at the knees. Like,
well, I've done myself.
Yeah, like, yeah, got the old kiddies safety scissors. I couldn't believe it. But honestly, then when you play with a guy like that, you're like, so brand new, absolutely love him. And obviously, when he was up in Edinburgh, there was nobody. So he was fighting everybody.
Yeah.
Mate. Bravo.
Got to get hat off to the boys, like I tell you.
Hats off to those lads. Talk us through your elite league experience. Obviously, we take the piss and we laugh and we joke about sitting on the bench and getting splinters in your ass. But some of the years, you're chucking in like 3 goals, 3 assists, 2 and 5, whatever it is. So you're obviously getting some sort of ice time here and there. How did it go?
I think I came around with the coach that we've got just now, Richard Hartman. He, like I say, he was player coach, and he always said like the young ones need to play. They have to be involved. Like. So he would throw you in every now and again, like rotate you either first line or second line. You might only get maybe one shift a period, but that one shift was like you felt like that was your time to give it a bash and like
pass it to the guy that's got the wicked toe drag. Get an apple, get off.
And every time I got put on with Rennie Yarlin. So it was like I'm young, I'm full energy, like I battle corners and fucking he would just pretty much stand at the top of the crease, like trying to see where the puck is.
By the way, mean release.
Oh, it's so
his release on the puck.
Yeah,
it's there and then it's behind you.
Yeah. So I played with him quite a lot. I think
that'll do your stats some favors.
Yeah, I think
play with that guy.
I think we played. Well, I got quite a lot of shifts, about 2-3 weeks in a row, and I think I got an assist on Rennie in every game.
That's
just every time I got the puck, I was just like Rennie. There he is.
There he is. Give it to that guy. It's interesting because obviously the Elite League have increased their numbers. I think they had to this year. Import numbers, that is. Yeah. I think they had to this year, but it has to come back down in the future. Once more of these National League guys are willing to take that jump, and I'm speaking to you, you're a self-employed plumber. It's very difficult to tell you you're not going to earn any money on a Saturday and Sunday if you want to. And hey, guess what? You can come play for us for £175 a week and sit on a bus to fucking Guildford.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's 20. That's 20 hours. So I could work for 2 hours, 8 until 10 on Saturday morning, and make what you just offered me for the entire week. Yeah. I've got to be at fucking training 4 days. Yeah. You want me to go to school visit? Now I've got 2 games, 3 games.
No McDonald's breakfast.
Mackie D's breakfast. Fucking shitty Shell station, Costa coffees. Oh. I mean, it's not pretty, but the numbers have gone up. So I actually, this time I do agree. They do have to start coming back down as guys are winning. But you have to pay the guys to go there. I think I looked at something this week, and I'm gonna say his name because I've got it written down here so that I don't butcher it. But his missus is big on the social media, like on the TikTok. What's it? Miles Gendron from Belfast, and they start talking through the player contracts, and the whole video is her explaining what the perks of the contracts are. You know, he gets to do his MBA. They get free access to Rory McIlroy's golf course in Belfast. They get this and they get that, and they get all this. We need to start putting those Brit boys through their MBAs. Let's get these lads in on that. Because all of a sudden, if you then have to sit on the bus and go down to Guildford from Dundee or Fife, you're not getting on and you're not really getting paid. You're kind of getting paid, but you're getting 4 years of school and you don't have to be in 50 grand's worth of debt in 4 years' time. That's fantastic.
Yeah, I think that's like you say is what I think that's one of the biggest problems in the Elite League is they don't appreciate the Brits. They don't appreciate the work that they have to put in to actually make it to the Elite League. Like, it's so much harder for a British guy nowadays to come through the league. Like you say, they've extended the number of imports, so there's not as much need for as many Brits. So you've narrowed that down to maybe one or two for every team. And how many guys realistically are going to be good enough to get through? Because there's loads of guys that are good enough to get through, but now you've narrowed it down to two. So
the opportunity shows what you need.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you were fortunate that you were at that age at Edinburgh where it was a fucking dumpster fire and it was a joke, and you got in probably in the grand scheme of things quite rightly when you shouldn't have. Yeah. Someone that's been playing hockey for 18 months is now in the Elite League. It's unheard of. Literally unheard of. And I would be the only other player that I can think of that started nearly as late as that and then went on to have a proper career is Nicky Chin. Chinny was lifting fucking sheep around the farm until he was like 14, 15. And then all of a sudden he found ice hockey, and in walked this 15-year-old man-child to the Cardiff ice rink, and history was born. But it's rare, mate. Normally, every guy that you see that makes it is the kid that started at 6, went through the skating lessons, still has a skating coach, goes to the gym a little bit extra, goes to the hockey camps. The guys that aren't making it are the guys that, you know, oh, little Johnny has Cub Scouts tonight. He can't make practice. Well, guess what? Little Johnny's never going to be a fucking hockey player. And when he's playing ENL2 and you're bitching about it, the guy that did more will make more.
Yeah. But like you're talking about the EIHL, there's loads of fucking great hockey players in the EIHL as well. Like, great hockey players. Yeah. But they've just never been given the opportunity to actually to go into the Elite League. So you're never going to know until you try. But like you say, there's just way too many imports. I personally think there's way too many imports.
Well, do you know young Jordan Bresser who's at the Clan?
I think I played a season against Western, and the year I left Flyers, he signed.
Right, so he came down to play for Sheffield last year in the National League. Power play, regular minutes, 25, points, aye. His ice time this year with the Clan, in the league games they've played so far, his ice time averages 5 minutes and 8 seconds. And in the Challenge Cup, it averages 3 minutes and 43 seconds. The fuck are you about to do in that amount of time?
No.
You can't have a shave in that amount of time. Like, and this is a guy that is a good hockey player. Like, he is a good hockey player. But if you're not going to get those opportunities, how are you supposed to grow? How are you supposed to reach that GB national team? How are you supposed to like progress your career on to where you go from being a lower paid guy to a Dowdy to a Ben O'Connor? Like, how do you take your career? So it's now a job. Like, Dowdy and Ben and all those boys, they'll do all right. But there's going to be guys that don't do it right. And they're doing massive favors for these elite league clubs. And I don't know if the clubs realize that.
I think it's always going to be a problem, to be brutally honest with you. I don't think it's going to get any better. I can't see it getting any better unless we have the same as, remember when it turned to years, and it's before I played, someone said it went to a Super League and then the league stopped.
Well, yeah, because the Super League, obviously you weren't watching or doing anything. It was the real deal, mate. Like, it's the best hockey we've ever had over here.
Yeah.
But you had guys that were like all-stars in the Czech Extra League the year before playing fourth line. Like, it wasn't sustainable.
Yeah, aye.
Clubs were paying fucking 27 grand a week on wages. And that, like, it was wild. It was madness. And that was, God. So the Elite League's 20-odd year old. So that was all throughout the 90s. We had, but obviously, my experience of that is Basingstoke. We were fucking shite because we didn't have any money. So the Sheffield Steelers would come into town and pump your titties, and it'd be 8-1 at home. You're like, oh. But the best thing, yeah, literally, the best thing for me would be though when I'd come back up the road for Christmas and that. I'd come up to Scotland, and I'm an Irvine boy. I'm a Ayrshire lad.
Yeah.
So Air Scottish Eagles were in the league then, and the league was sick, and they had a sick team. And Billy the Kitman was Billy the Kitman from when my dad played for Air. So we had tickets and we had all that. So every time we come up the road, I get to watch the Air Scottish Eagles, and they were a hockey team, mate. Got to watch them the year they won the Grand Slam. Dennis Purdy and guys like that. Something St. Pierre, not George St. Pierre, but I can't get that out of my brain because of UFC. But they had Yuri Lala, guys that were unbelievable. And God, we've had some good players in the Elite League, but that Super League was a joke.
Yeah.
What brought about the move to Fife after being with Edinburgh for so long?
I think the season before, I went down to, it's like a challenge game with the GB team. It was the senior team. I went down, but it was like team 2, so they had their first team and then their team 2. I got who was the coach at Nottingham?
Corey?
No, Neil Corey, yeah.
No, what's his name? Corey Nielsen.
Corey Nielsen, no. Close enough. Neil Corey Nielsen, same thing.
I was getting mixed up. I know it as well, but Joe, you said it, I was like,
yeah. He actually phoned me, so I was working. I was literally lying under someone's floor, like running pipes, and I got a phone call, and it's like, oh, it's Corey Nielsen. I was like, oh, fuck off.
Yeah, right.
No, it actually is. And I was like, oh, sorry. He's like, I'm just wondering, like, are you free? Do you want to come down play this Challenge Cup game? I was like, well, yeah, well, how does it work? He was like, I'll get in contact with your employer, and then we'll get you tickets, and you'll fly down and play there. And then after I played the GB, I got Todd Duttonham got in contact with me and asked if I wanted to come sign at Fife. So then after that, well, I grew up watching Flyers as a kid, and my granddad, he was a massive Flyers fan, season ticket holder.
Love it.
So it was quite a big thing for me to sign at Fife. And then after I played at Fife, it's just I had no interest in the Elite League at all.
So that's interesting because the Flyers fans are happy. Duttonham's out. They have a new coach on board. But it just looks like they're going balls deep on the imports and the Brits aren't touching the ice.
Yeah.
I mean, old habits die hard. Todd's gone, but the ethos remains. What do we have to do to get Fife Flyers having good Brits going through there again? Because in my day, Kyle Horn, Gary Wisher, Paddy Ward went on to play for Air Scottish Eagles in the time at the Super League, funnily enough. There was always John Haig. There was always guys, always. And now they don't get a chance.
No. I know it's going to sound really bitchy, but the thing with Fife is, well, what I've always heard and things I've seen is if your face doesn't fit, they don't give a shit. Like, they don't care. Like, it's if you're sucking up the coach's ass and you're doing what the coach wants you all the time, you'll get in. If your parents are chipping money into the club, it's fine.
Oh,
but
really?
That's what it's through the grapevine, but there's loads of great players in Fife. Again, like you've got players in Fife that are signing 2 ways and other clubs are away from the Flyers. Like, why is that happening? Why are they not getting to come through and play, like, be a junior coming through into the Elite League through the Fife program? There's nothing there for them.
So looking at it just now, they have James Spence, Finn Page. So 2 Brits on the roster.
Yeah. Spencer, he's good. He played out in the States. I don't know if he played like in a league or if he was just on like a hockey school or a scholarship, but he played out there. I don't think Finn Page, was he not? Where did he play last year? He wasn't Flyers, was he?
Right, here you go then. So Finn Page is 5 games. So in the actual Elite League, so the Flyers have only played 1 league game so far this season. Neither boy touched the ice. In the Challenge Cup, they played 5 games. Finn Page is averaging 45 seconds of ice time in those 5 games. And let's have a look. James Spence in 4 games, is averaging 29 seconds of ice time a game.
Must have been a bench penalty.
I got caught out there after the too many men. Like,
Yeah.
and that's how good is your confidence right now? Shite.
Yeah, terrible.
Terrible, right? I feel bad for those guys. Let's move away from the Elite League anyway. Talk a little bit about the upcoming weekend, and then I'm going to let you go. How important is this game on the road away to the Lynx? It's going to be busy. It looks like it's nigh on a sellout, and you have this bit of rivalry, some sort of little beef from earlier seasons. How big is this weekend for you guys?
I mean, I think we've got a lot to prove. The last time we were there, we played well in the first period, and then after the first period, second, third period, guys just shut down like no one was trying. But you have to remember we've got quite a lot of young guys, like a lot of juniors coming through. That again, it's just what we've been talking about. The junior guys have got something to prove. They play hard. But like I heard you talking with Fraser in your last podcast, Aberdeen bring such a big crowd. Like the way they're set up is a great setup. It really is, and I think a lot of it was intimidation. Like the younger ones were quite intimidated. They've never played in front of a big crowd, and the crowd are right behind the bench, and they'll give you stick, and so it's all good fun. Like it's how it goes. But I think this weekend we feel like we've got a lot to prove from the previous weekend where we got what we deserved. Yeah, we got what we deserved. The guys never turned up to play after the first period. So I think this weekend coming, like guys are really going to have to knuckle down and just fucking give it hell, really.
Couple more for you. I'm going to let you go and get a hug. So the SNL as a whole, what does it do well? What could it do better?
Good question.
Sorry, mate. I fucking sued you. I just waited until the last 8 minutes. I'm going to sue you into the ground now. But this is good because I bet the folk at the top of the SNL don't have a clue what the players think. They don't know because they're so far removed from it.
Yeah.
A good, honest opinion from someone that's played like 900 or 200 games in the Elite League and seen the Belfast Giants up close, seen the Sheffield Steelers up close, Nottingham Panthers. You do have valuable input.
I think the biggest problem, like again, it sounds like I'm blowing smoke up Aberdeen's ass, but I think it's promoting the game. Like I really think we struggle to promote games because the people that are running the teams, obviously it's everything that they make goes back to the team. So the guys that are working for the teams, that's not their job. Like we said previously, like the British players, that's not their job in the Elite League. Like the guys that are running these teams, that isn't their job. So I think for them to put that extra bit in to promote it more is a problem for them. If that makes sense.
I mean, if you're already volunteering 12 hours a week, but it needs to be 25 to make it the next level.
Yeah, like it's hard to ask that extra little bit.
Yeah,
but I think the biggest problem is promoting the league, like because like we said earlier, it's a good standard of hockey. You know, it's maybe not elite league standard, but you still get a good game. Like it's still a spectator sport at the end of the day. Like guys come and give it their all every weekend. So I think they deserve it just as much as anybody else.
So what would you say the good things are about the league? It seems to be more competitive. From talking to the Aberdeen boys this week, it seems like everyone can beat everyone on any given night, which is good.
I think like you said, like this year, there's teams that have come out of the woodwork and are winning, like beating teams that they shouldn't be beating. Like for the last 2 or 3 years, Kilmarnock have been like Kilmarnock away, like fuck, this is going to be it's like a shit rink to play, and it's terrible. It's like a
Galleon.
Oh, it's horrendous.
I can't believe they actually play ice hockey at the Galleon, but the way ice rinks are disappearing in the UK right now, take that over nothing.
Yeah, exactly. So like you used to go down and play them, or they would come at you and play you, and it was like cricket scores, like you'd beat them loads, and now they're beating teams. Well, they got through the semi-finals last year of the playoffs.
Brilliant.
And then Aberdeen put them out. It was a close game. It was a really close game, but it was a good game. But I think this year, like the best thing about the league is the spread of the players now. Like the talent, like every team's got a good team, I think, personally.
That's great for the league. Finally, going to ask you one final question about this weekend. Do you have a prediction or a score that you think going to happen? Because obviously my knowledge on the SNL is piss poor. I'm not going to pretend it's not. What would be a good score for you boys on the road here?
just a greasy road game. You know what it's
Yeah, it
like.
doesn't
It's
matter. It
like
doesn't matter.
you've played, you understand it. Like a win's a win, whether you win by a goal or 5 goals. It's a fucking win in my eyes. As long
Yeah.
as, like we say earlier on, as long as the guys turn up and win, I do not give a fuck.
I'll give you one
Like,
more quickly because it's just popped into my head. Obviously, chatting to the Aberdeen boys as well. They talk about like there's a few of the Dundee boys that go through and play for them. What's that like for you boys that are still in Dundee? Is it like when the Bainstoke Bracknell? Like we had the notorious M4 corridor, we used to call it. Like we all played for Swindon, we all played for Guildford, we all played for Bainstoke, Bracknell, and Slough. Like there was, there's like 9 junctions on the M4, and there's 5 teams. So chances are, the boys that disappeared to Aberdeen are probably your pals, but obviously it's game night.
it's getting like your friends off the ice. And like every player will tell you that your friends off the ice. But as soon as you're on ice, you're not going to like, oh, heads up, buddy, I'm up, I'm coming. You're going to fucking you're going to give them it. It's just part of the game. But it's up to them. You're not contracted in SNL. There's no contract signed. So as far as I'm concerned, anyone can do what the fuck they want.
I love it. Right, Sean, this has been awesome. I think I'm even more buzzing for the game now. I like the fact there's a little bit of needle. It's good to see both sides of it. And we'll grab you for a quick chat on Road Tripping episode 3, which is coming out after this Aberdeen versus Dundee game. If you like this interview, check out the Aberdeen boys. And we'll have Sean's teammate, Mr. Billy Hogg, coming on very, very shortly. So lots of interviews, lots of SNL chat. Hope it's helping the SNL grow. Everybody seems to be getting behind it. It's helping the podcast grow. I cannot lie. So thank you to all the Aberdeen folks that have tuned in, have started following, subscribing. It makes a big difference to this podcast. And I'm sure everybody that listens to this, Dundee, do the same thing. Hit that subscribe button. Make sure you tune in to Road Trip episode 3 next week on 4,000 and Counting. Sean, thank you very much.
Thanks,
you guys, I'll see you again soon for another episode. Peace.